In episode 14, when Sinbun landed her spaceship, she quickly jumped out, and ran so fast that Lord Tosat would be jealous if he saw her. It was amazing how fast she could run in 3-inch heels as her long curvy legs became a blur underneath her torso while she ran like Sonic the Hedgehog to go find help. She raced to the nearest Zoe in the large golden city, having no time to be picky. Unfortunately for her, the first Zoe she encountered was an old drunken man who had been stumbling around the Zoe city late at night with a bottle of alcoholic beverage in one hand. Sinbun almost knocked the Zoe man over when she nearly ran into him with panic. "Quick! I need your assistance. The Zoe threat is after me," yelled Sinbun with fear and panic. "What did you say?" responded the old Zoe man in a drunken stupor before taking a swig from his bottle. "The Zoe threat. He's trying to kill me, damn it," she snapped hastily before saying, "Look at my face. Look at my body. He did this." The old drunk Zoe man was looking at her face and body, all right, but not in the way she was hoping. In fact, he was too drunk to even notice her battle injuries. "Speaking of face and body, you are one tall piece of art. Say, beautiful, how would you like to work as one of my sex servants?" "I'm Lord Prezel, by the way," responded the old Zoe man, too drunk to realize that Sinbun was from the ruling class like himself, because no sober Zoe would have never presented this type of offer to her, since only the working-class Zoes could be sex servants. Frustrated, the panicking female tyrant grabbed the drunk old Zoe by the throat and started strangling him while shouting, "I am seconds away from death at the hands of a peasant that's too strong for me, and all you can think about is lust?" D-Man arrived at the scene and said, "Damn, I ain't never seen a Zoe-on-Zoe violence before." Sinbun released the drunk Zoe man and fearfully looked up at the sky when she heard the heroic gangster. D-Man's appearance was peculiar enough to snap Prezel out of his drunken mindset. "Who is that?" Sinbun glared at the drunk Zoe man and said, "The Zoe threat. The individual I have been trying to warn you about. Remember." D-Man chimed in with annoyance and said, "I girl, learn my name. It's D-Man." "D-Man. You mean to tell me that this youngster is the big threat everyone's been talking about?" commented Prezel in disbelief. "He may be a little underaged, but his enormous power makes up for it," warned Sinbun. "That must be yo great-granddaddy or something. I ain't even know y'all aged like that." "Sheesh," said D-Man to Sinbun. "Respect your elders, boy. Age isn't just a number if you can't live long enough to match the length of my life," scolded Prezel before taking a sip from his bottle. Prezel challenged D-Man to a fight. Sinbun just rolled her eyes in response while D-Man said, Hold up. I ain't 'bout to fight no old-ass man, especially a drunk half-crippled one." Offended, Prezel charged at D-Man faster than any Zoe he ever fought, and before he knew it, the Zoe elder whacked him with his cane so hard that the blow spun D-Man around and made him go flying backwards and then slamming face first into a pink transparent wall that had magically appeared out of nowhere and was 500 times harder than a rock, hurting D-Man's face. Prezel quickly knocked him into the sky with an upward-growing transparent cube that he had made appear underneath him, and it was also pink and harder than ever. Prezel then quickly teleported above D-Man and smacked him back down with his cane, and before D-Man could hit the ground, Prezel teleported near him again and blasted him away with a large ball of deadly blue energy. Like the artificial wall, the cube disappeared after completing its duty. The blue energy ball sent D-Man flying to a wasteland far away. D-Man quickly tossed the energy ball aside and floated in the night sky that slowly turned yellow as the morning slowly crept up on him. Prezel and Sinbun arrived at the wasteland and floated across from D-Man 11 feet away. "That see-through wall and block you just made must got something to do with yo special ability," commented D-Man. "Correct as ever, lad," confirmed Prezel. "My special ability allows me to use geometry as a weapon. Here's an example," he then explained before magically drawing a pink horizontal line while the environment turned dark and the old Zoe man said, "Separate." Something told D-Man to duck, so he did. The dark environment horizontally sliced in half, revealing the normal-colored environment underneath, while a giant rock behind a ducking D-man was also sliced in half. He looked back in shock while Prezel flew to him and punched him in the face with his bony hand. The Zoe Elder then started beating D-man with his cane before summoning a pizza box-shaped cuboid and slamming it down on D-man's head so hard that the human hybrid was sent flying into the ground with a planet-shaking crash. His body made a crater in the ground as he was now lying on his back. Prezel landed in front of the large crater while Sinbun remained in the sky. For a real old motherfucker, he sure is active and strong as hell, thought D-man to himself before standing up and saying, "Is that all you got, old head?" Prezel charged towards D-man, who easily punched him away before he could attack again as the old drunk went flying backward. D-man quickly caught up to Prezel and started punching him multiple times while the old Zoe struggled to break free from the barrage of punches, which were far too quick for him. D-man wanted to see how much punches his old frail-looking body could take since he seemed so tough for his age. Sinbun looked down at the battle and asked herself, should I help the old geezer? He is a Zoe after all. She then remembered her own battle injuries and smiled with fear before saying, nah, he has lived long enough anyways. Prezel made a wall appear in between himself and D-man, who ended up hurting his knuckles on it when he punched it instead of the old drunk, while Prezel made the artificial wall roll into a giant pink cylinder that he batted D-man in the face with, knocking him several feet away. Prezel then quickly flew towards D-man, and Falcon kicked him far away, and while D-man's body was flying, the Zoe Elder uppercut him constantly with a row of walls that kept appearing underneath him one by one, and growing upwards into even taller walls. Suddenly, D-man vanished and reappeared behind Prezel, kicking him super hard in the back. The old purple man went flying while D-man flew next to him and kept punching his body before stumping him out of the sky. Prezel crashed face first into the ground, making the planet shake. I think it's about time for you to retire, said D-man before landing behind the old Zoe man while he was slowly getting back up. I mean, I knew I would be whooping some Zoe ass, but I ain't know I would be fucking up senior citizen Zoes too, he then said before Prezel suddenly turned around and blasted him right in the face, but it had no effect on him as the smoke cleared to show the human hero unscathed. Shocked beyond belief, Prezel attacked D-man again as he drew a pink circle in thin air and made it go around D-man, and when he clenched his bony fist, the circle tightened around his opponent. Prezel then used the circle to move D-man's body, smashing him into everything in sight: trees, mountains, rocky walls, cliffs, the ground, and even volcanoes. Afterwards, Prezel teleported above D-man and slammed his clenched-together hands into D-man's back, sending him flying out of the sky, and before D-man could hit the ground, Prezel made 4 solid triangles appear underneath him before then making the triangles form into a razor-sharp pyramid that D-man's body was supposed to fall on. However, D-man quickly teleported away from the pyramid and reappeared in front of Prezel with a punch to his face, knocking the Zoe Elder away while D-man followed him with punches to his stomach and back, repeatedly teleporting behind and in front of him. D-man then kicked him out of the sky. Prezel hit the ground face first once again, and thought to himself, no matter how many times I get the best of him, the boy just keeps shrugging it off and evening the score. The Zoe Elder stood back up while D-man landed in front of him, standing 9 feet away. What you gon' do now, geometry teacher? He challenged. Nothing, absolutely nothing, responded Prezel before saying, I give up. You win. Surprised, D-man said, huh? At the same time Sinbun said, what? To be motherfucking continued.